Is that the infamous Renegade?
Infamous. Oh my god. How's it going, Stifle?
It's going, man. I am excited to see if my team can pick up. Right? This is week 3?
Um, I believe it's week 4. Unless this is a
Oh,
holdover
standings
match.
just haven't been updated, right? So we're 1 and
Yeah.
2. Yeah, still picking up second win. But I don't know. We'll see.
Spawning.
If one of our continue. Sorry.
Spawning down in the bottom right corner. As the Yellow Terran for Snap Back to Reality. Its character. Do you want to introduce Cam?
Spawning in the top left, representing Intuition's ex-slaves, we have Camaril.
Yeah, so you guys are trying to pick up, I believe you said, a second victory?
Yep.
So, what can you expect out of Camaril here? How do you expect him to take on character?
I know Camaril is a relatively macro player, but this is TVT, and I know he is a bit down in the MMR category, so maybe we could see a different playstyle out of him. Victor, I honestly just expect standard. If you're up in MMR and TVT, you typically are the one that plays more defensive because you will be able to win the longer game with your macro, since you're like up in that MMR category.
Yeah. Camaril, of course, running the Camaril Star League for many seasons. It's a wonderful thing for the StarCraft community. It's character, though, making his name after taking down Kira a couple weeks ago. Moving those Marines
In
across
KSL?
in DTL, actually. He pulled up an underdog win there.
Kira is a interesting personality.
He certainly does, but
Seem to have quite a few rowdier players on your team from what I've seen so far this season.
Sith Lords, would you say?
I do want to note, if you look at the right of Cam's base, there is a proxy starport going down. And also, character appears to be doing a one base, heavily aggression based build, versus Cam is just kind of playing this more standard. So it's flopped. Cam is going for the macro build, and character is going for the cheese with the proxy starport currently. And Cam doesn't know what's going on, so I'm quite concerned.
Yeah, this is something character's been working on over the past couple months. With his Platinum Heroes friends, with some coaches in Risen, etc. A huge modification here and improvement is he got an orbital. He argued for quite some time that you you actually got ahead by not making the orbital here. So this is going to be a little bit stronger than his usual 1-1-1 push. Let's see how it does.
Oh no! If Cam can get out of Cyclone, I think he holds this. But if it hits before the Cyclone pops, then this could be some deep danger. Also, his starport is late. I'm a little bit. Oh, he got a missile turn. Okay, that's actually a very big brain move out of Cam. That'll give him at least a little bit of protection, although he currently doesn't have anything that shoots air. So. Oh, okay. Let's see how long it takes to pull.
Quite a while. Quite a while is the answer to that.
4. Okay then. This Liberator makes me sad for being a Terran player.
Will it get?
He
out
gets
of
it?
there?
Oh, no, it does not. Oh, wow. Okay, that is quite. I don't want to say it makes up for the loss of Cam's 9 workers, but he's definitely if he didn't get that, it would be a big yikes from me.
Well,
Since he has
Camero,
2 orbitals, he can catch up.
absolutely, yeah. So he's gonna have that extra mule to kind of replace some of that lost mining income. Out of this,
See the starport, but he's not. Oh, there we go. He's finally going over to kill it.
yeah, and that means that Cloak is not gonna hit this field of battle. This Banshee should, however. Will it though? Yeah, it will.
I mean, I don't know if it'll do a ton, since can't the Cyclone reach it from there?
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna die instantly, but at least it builds, right? Oh. Okay,
Oh,
well...
no,
well,
okay then.
I wonder... Huh. I would have thought that was in range as well. But I suppose not.
Something to notice, Cam is just now replenishing his gas. He, for a long time, wasn't mining gas. Neither player electing to go for Ravens currently. Which I guess can't be fully utilized at this level, but is something worth noting. Cam's the classic 46 supply block. And no upgrades either.
Yeah, character ahead in every conceivable metric right now. He has his own second orbital up back at home, tanks siege through the defense, and Cameral can't really push into anything the character has right now. You need that superior tank count or a Raven or something if you want to attack your opponent. But that means he's going to be left racing up in the economy. Now, he does have a tremendous amount of energy on both these orbitals. That could be a lot of mules.
Something that I do want to note while minor is that neither of these players have elected to go for a third base, and it's nearing the 7-minute mark. So I think typically in TVT, the player who takes the third base the earliest just gets an advantage, because tanks are so much better at defending than attacking. Oh, whoa.
Oh no, Cameral's units are streaming in.
This may be the game right here. If whoever sieges up first here gets a big advantage. And Cam sieges first, and oh wow. Wow, okay. That just neutralized. Oh, back off, Cam. The Marine count, but he is still up a tank. But Cam has a Cyclone.
Yeah,
and a
but
Medivac,
I mean,
so...
Cam just straight up can't engage this though, right? Because there's too many Marines. They can sit on the tanks. The Medivac can't drop on the tanks because of the Marines, and the Cyclone isn't going to really be able to engage into that tank line either. However, you know, that Medivac you mentioned is going to be able to provide Cameral with air superiority, meaning the tanks will be able to utilize their full range as character tries to engage in here.
I think actually Cam's in a fine position right now. As long as he sieges up his tanks before... Please siege, please siege. Okay. He's in a fine position. They should just trade tanks at this point.
Character has this. Okay,
That's
there's
how
a Viking
the tank
land.
fight goes. But also, like, one of these tanks is at potato HP, so... With a pull of the boys, this should be held, although there is...
There's a lot more army supply behind this. Yeah, Viking gonna provide that, well, the Marine's also gonna provide that vision, but this Natural's under siege, and Cameral's just not muling. These CCs have been sitting at full energy for a long time. Character saying danger zone.
Yeah. Danger zone, that's... I'm not quite sure if that's considered BM, but it's a thing.
I believe in Trash Talk he threw that song down and alluded to some kind of meme.
Oh,
that
match. Was the guy who posted it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, never mind. This all makes sense now. Well, character's up about 30 supply and has a third base, and how do I see upgrades? Which button is it?
So if you click on the purple on the UI where it says APM, you can actually see everyone's upgrades, or hit G on your keyboard.
There we go. They're even on upgrades, but I feel like character's a decent amount ahead. Cam not using his energy at all is
Well,
very painful.
character has combat shield as well, so his marine's gonna trade just slightly more effectively.
Not
Excuse
currently
me.
he doesn't. It's in research though. But both of them are getting it.
Excuse me, he has cloak, somehow. So that could come into play later. I don't know why the hell I said combat shields, but probably because they're both on the research tab. More correct statement here would be character's gonna have combat shields first, as well as armor, so...
Yeah, and then, this is really unfortunate for... Well, maybe not unfortunate, but like poor base layout by Cam. Typically, you want to place 1 or 2 supply depots at the sides of your base just to be able to spot a doom drop like this and shut it down. And before the tanks would get up. If there was just 1 or 2 more tanks for character, I think there's no way he breaks that. He may just lose his entire main base. But character did not have more units, so he holds that actually quite decently. So Cam is up, oh no, he's down a little bit. Units lost.
That's a brave Viking right there. He survived too.
One Viking in a dream, man.
That was an entire column of Marines marching under it, but character is still up in army supply. He's at almost double the workers, and he's up a CC. So Cameron has his work cut out for him pushing in here. His only real advantage are the medevac. No, character has an equal amount of medevacs at this point. So.
Although, this is something decent to note, is that character does not have great siege tank placement right now. So, Cam's tanks are super far out of position. If they get sniped, I would GG out.
Remember, character has...
Okay, well, thank God character didn't do that.
Character has armor as well, so Marines can trade a little more effectively.
Upgrades are so big in Marine fights. Maybe if Cam could get his siege tanks like set up on the top over here before character saw them, but no, just setting up over here is a terrible choke point to push up through. And he's gonna get picked off because he doesn't have air superiority. Well, Cam's floating a lot too. I think the MMR disadvantage at this point is showing heavily. Yeah, there we go, GG. Nice try from Cam. All right. So what were your takeaways from that game?
I mean, Cameron really, like, he kind of took himself down there, right? It was a matter of not muling from the orbitals. It was a matter of, you know, attacking into engagements he couldn't quite win on several occasions. His micro was okay. His macro, other than not dropping the mules, was okay, but it was just a matter of character, kind of.
I think he overbuilt on production a little bit. I remember at the end of that game, he was just getting up his third, and he was going up to 6 racks and an extra starport. So he was going 2 starports, 6 racks, and a factory, while not even like having a third base saturated yet.
Yeah.
Well, maybe a little bit too aggressive on the production. Our next player will be Mevin. Are you familiar with Mevin at all?
I am not terribly familiar with Mevin as a player or a person.
He's not necessarily our strongest player based on MMR, but I would say this season he has done by far the most work in scouting, and I think as a captain, that is something next go around should be valued very highly. Is not necessarily like MMR, but also how much effort they bring to the team in terms of scouting and prep.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Scouting, definitely a very valuable tool. Know thy enemy, know thyself, and you will succeed in all things. Looks like it's going to be another TVT.
Another TVT. This one, or no, I'm sorry. Mevin is a Zerg player. So, Mevin should be switching to Zerg. Maybe I've been trolled.
It looks like his Terran MMR is a little bit higher. Oh, yeah, he is going Terran for this match.
Oh, right, I forgot. He was the... He's going Terran this match. Alright, let's go. Hopping into the second game, MMR is... These 4 of these players within 4 MMR, so this should be a very close game. On paper.
Do you happen to know Mevin's TVT win rate?
Mevin's what?
Terran versus Terran win rate.
I do not, honestly. I can look it up, though.
Interestingly enough, it looks like he's one of those players that's qualified. Actually could play random, you know, around the same MMR range for all 3 races, but in the bottom left. For Stifles, Intuition's ex-slaves, it's Mevin.
Mevin.
And in the top right, as the Yellow Terran. For Snap Back to Reality, it's the Platinum Heroes character.
How do you feel about Castor Chicken?
Castor Chicken?
Yeah, Castor Chicken.
I'm not familiar.
Are you not familiar with what it is?
I do not know what Castor Chicken is, no.
Alright, I'm gonna have to inform you. Well, Castor Chicken is an art invented by Artosis, who will say the first word at the beginning of the match. I will send you this Twitch clip for context of Castor Chicken, as this is something you should be taken very seriously.
Both players getting a full scout. A Bob Toss. A Kappa, wait, what's that? Not Bob Toss, fuck.
Kappa Ross?
Kappa Ross, there we go, has been dropped outside of characters main. Oh, Mevin trying to get a delay on the
harassment?
CC, yeah.
That's weird. I don't know. Normally Reapers pop around that time, so
Yeah.
hey, if you want to do harassment on the CC, then you should be pulling your SCV much earlier. Pops, it just dies, and then you lose your SCV for no value. Bunker? Coming out of character. Interesting. I wonder what he saw that made him think, oh, it's time to build a bunker. Oh, I guess
I think it may have just been...
I guess he didn't see the natural.
Yeah, that as well as that SCV being a little bit aggro. Might have sent off some warning signals for character. I know he gets super he takes his matches very seriously, and that can sometimes lead to nerves for character, so this might just be one of those reactions.
I think it's important to note the variation in these players' choice of build order. Mevin has adopted for the two Reaper. I didn't even see a. Did he build a Hellion? No, just two Reaper, Tech Lab on the factory, and it looks like he's going to be doing the Raven Cyclone opener. And he just went after the two Reapers directly into Reactor Marines on his 1/1/1 versus characters doing a pretty opposite end of the spectrum build in terms of TVT, where he opened up with Reaper Hellion and then made 4 Hellions, and he's going for Tech Lab on his barracks with Stim, which kind of leads to more of a timing push in my mind. And then he's also going for a Medivac with 4 Hellions, so he's going to go drop them, and he's getting a second barracks to pump out more bio to presumably go with the Stim he's getting, and he's getting a Viking. Very, very different builds coming from these two players. I like this Spotting Marine.
So, are there any features of World of Sleepers that you feel affects the TVT matchup?
Yes, I'll say that, like, early game, there is some very cheeky stuff you can do with these marrow patches. And that involve, like, setting up tanks, like mining out the mineral patches and surprising your opponent with a few tanks, and then you can basically not allow them to maneuver around the ramp, which can be cheeky. Also, there's really not a great third base location on this map, unless you want to mine out the mineral patches. But most players don't do that. So, like, you either got to go for this one with the one Vespene Geyser, which isn't great, and it's, like, super open. Or you have to go for this one, which is also super open, and it's a little bit further away from your natural. So you're, like, vertically stretched, because now you have to hold 2 choke points if you want to cover your natural and your third. So this is, if this was a map for like 2 base all-ins in the pool, I think this would probably be the one in TVT, since it seems like you can really leverage tanks well.
Yeah, something else to note.
Nope, character.
Oh, no.
Continue.
Yeah, character going for a move out, Marine tank, Viking in the air. But I think Mevin can hold this pretty easily.
Oh yeah, definitely. Mevin is a little bit oversaturated in his main currently. Also to note, character hasn't started his upgrades where Mevin has. Character has Stim, Mevin does not.
Yeah.
All very minor things, but can be very big in one fight. All these little things. That's one thing I really like about TVT, is it's not a battle of race to one thing, like let's say in Brood War TVZ, it's a race to the Zerg getting defilers. Because once the game changes in how they play it very heavily once the Zerg gets defilers, versus in this matchup, it's more like, oh, I'm getting Stim, but my opponent, instead of getting Stim early, will get upgrades early and do the 4 Hellion Medivac thing, and like it's little trade-offs, so it allows for a lot of player preference. Something I found quite humorous is that character built 4 NG base. How do you feel about the strategy?
I think, again, it's not really a strategy. It's more of like a panic reaction here. Or I shouldn't say panic, like a stress reaction from character, you know. He's hyper focused on the game, doing his best, and it's tilt. That's something that you get rid of with more and more tournament play. So
I think, like, no offense, but I think tilt may be the wrong word. I think tilt is the action of getting, like, angry during a StarCraft match, or implies it at least, versus I think nerves is more of, like, a more better term for that, because I don't think you get angry and build 4 NG bays. I think you get stressed out, not paying attention, and then accidentally build 4 NG bays.
See, I feel like tilt is defined as one's perception of oneself. So, in the mental game of poker, where most people learn about this, it's like, well, you know, there's positive tilt and there's negative tilt. So with negative tilt, you're going, oh, I can't win this. There's no way I can win this. And you have stress reactions like blaming your opponent or making mistakes or being unconfident in yourself. And then there's positive tilt, where you super win and you get overconfident and you make mistakes that way. But yeah, so character stims.
That was a very aggressive
midfield.
stim.
And he's trying to skirt the radar tower here, but there's no, I mean, he's going to walk in vision towards Mevin's base, which is going to give our Green Terran time to reposition.
Yep. Something I think you'll kind of notice as you get higher up in the MMR of TBT. I know you're a Zerg player, so maybe this isn't applicable to you. But basically, like, this is our first major, I'd say, battle so far. In TBT, basically, you get more action as you go higher up in the level. I would say at, let's say, like, Masters 3, since you're able to macro more in TBT, there's just generally more battles. So while, like, TBT may seem super boring for lower league players, I think it's actually one of the most interesting ones at higher levels. He notably did get the sensor tower, so he has about a 10-second window where he can drop here. But Mevin seems to catch on, and it, will be cleaned up very cost-effectively for Mevin, with about a 2k resource advantage now.
Yeah, character won several engagements. Mevin was trying to concave. He was trying to come up the ramp to the south side. He was trying to come around, and character was holding those off, but this medevac drop, not gonna work out for him, and Mevin's just gonna storm across the map now. Character is on 4 base, so all he has to do is hold this, but holding this is gonna be a tall order.
Forgot to grab half his tanks, or more. Also completely forgot to lift up his own, as I say that, but main very oversaturated. So what I'd like to see out of Mevin here is I'd like to see him go pressure this 4th base, if lucky kill it, and then also expand getting his own 4th base and transferring some of these SCVs. Would be probably the play I would make, which is exactly what he's doing. Not to be overbearing, but
Dead CC for a character. Army supply heavily in favor of Mevin. A lot of the Marines get shredded, but then characters instantly blow up to the tank shots. And
I think his tank count just getting wiped was a little bit too much to overcome at this point. He was looking good for a really long time, but it looks like Mevin's able to pull it back. I think it all started at the beginning of the game when he built that bunker. I think mentally maybe character wasn't fully in it this game or something, but he seemed nervous in the way of his play, was very reckless.
Alright, so Mevin slowly creeping forward with the tanks, hitting production on the high ground, using scans for vision.
I'm kind of surprised that he's going for this, when I would have been like perfectly fine just taking a strong position right here. It's very hard to break, and you can just rain down on their production and force them to refocus. A little cheeky thing, he's trying to lift up his CC and maybe go back to the 4th base position.
I really like the Liberator out of character, but is it going to be enough? Character trying to get rid of the anti-air.
I think it's something worth noting in StarCraft, as we see a GG come out of character, is that if you're getting attacked, if you could just like maybe spare like a medevac worth of units sometime during there to just go drop the opponent, kind of change the tempo of that game, because once he lost that main fight, the tempo swung towards Mevin. But if he was able to regain it somehow by distracting him, excuse me, I think he could have maybe get, or at least like got a breath of fresh air.
Reality saying perfectly balanced 1-1 as all things should be. Will's lot in the chat saying character take my energy.
A little bit late for character to take your energy. All right, looks like Lil Zot's going to be the next player out of snap back to reality. Hey, Ren, once we load up this map, I'm gonna go use the restroom, and I'm gonna promote you to game leader.
All right.
Oh, did you want it made with Gameheart?
Yeah, Gameheart would be great.
Sorry about that.
It's all good.
I forgot about the first 2 games. Alright, we want east. I swear to God, I know what I'm doing. Bill's a lot, and Nevin. I will be right back.
All right. Spawning in the bottom right. As the Green Terran. For intuitions, ex-slaves, it's Mevin. And in the top left, trying to regain the lead for snap back to reality, it's the blue Protoss, Lil Slot. I hate when I move my mouse to the left side of the screen, it just starts zooming. Gotta go fast. Alright, so Mevin looking to do Reaper expand, most likely. Lil's lot with the proper building positioning you need against Terran. Triton, classic map. It's been in the pool for quite some time. You got your Xel'Naga, the vision blockers on either side. Rocks dotted around in kind of a sphere. In the center, these ones are fully blocked off. Not going to matter too much in the Terran vs. Protoss matchup. But, the Kappa Ross has been dropped. something a little bit interesting. You'll see that the probe hold positioned here for a second, right next to the geyser. That's actually so the SCV can't steal the gas. You need like one building hex on either side at those corners to construct your gas mining facility. So a small little micro battle there from the players. Mevin,
Hello?
getting up the natural. Welcome back, Stifle.
Thank you.
Is it stifle or stifle? I've never been able to tell.
Stifle. I don't know quite how people see it as stifle. I've also heard sniffle.
I started out with stifle, and then people kept saying stifle, so I changed it to stifle.
Stifle isn't a word. Stifle's a word.
Remember Smoofle? I remember Smoofle. Alright, it looks like we have Marauder Slow on the way for our Green Terran, going into factory as well. Lilzot shading forward. And he might be able to get a delay on the bunker. It really depends on this Marauder positioning.
With the Marauder position and a Reaper, it really comes down to the micro of these two. Oh, second Marauder pops. I don't think there's a way he gets it.
Yeah,
No.
he delayed the shade as well, so not going to be able to reach it in time. Should see a cancel on that, and there we go. And Lilzlot looking to do some two-base blink play, it looks like.
I hate blink play so much.
Yeah, with the robotics facility, it's going to be an observer or a warp prism for that high ground vision, and we should see. Although, oh no, it's a third. There aren't going to be very many stalkers in this
My
attack.
experience, a good blink opener player is next to impossible to stop. Like, just from the beginning of the game, they'll like snipe my bunker and then delay it, and then like I guess I'll start with the probe, and then they'll just like constantly harass you, and then they'll just like incrementally gain an advantage, and then bam, 3 Colossus, and you're kind of like, wow, it just got like 60 army supply more than me, and you just lose.
Oh,
Then again, I also have a 35% TVP, so
Blink has hit the field, and it looks like it's just our defense. Forge, it's about halfway done. This third Nexus, getting ready to finish as well. And
not to call Mevin a low league player, but something that we typically see if you've watched a decent amount of lower league games is that they'll get like upgrades or like make a lot of units and then just defend with them. I feel like that's kind of what we're seeing out of Mevin right now. Is just specifically one game that stands out to me is a Husky StarCraft Bronze League Heroes, where the Zerg, I don't remember the name, but made about 60 speedlings and then sat at home on 2 bases for about 5 minutes. Kind of feels like that currently.
I'll be sure to check out that VOD later. We can't. I deleted all his videos. So Mevin hit with a pretty huge supply block. Is gonna clear that up finally, but quite a delay in the production here for a Green Terran. It's gonna be okay for now. Lilzlot just macroing up, getting out Immortals, charged, finishing, armor on the way.
Even though I'm not really thrilled like by the whole blink thing out of Lilzlot, he's got an insane advantage just by taking his third at a decent time versus Mevin. Really delayed his third, and he doesn't have a ton to show for delaying his third.
Yeah, Mevin pretty far behind economically as well as in the army supply.
I'm pretty concerned, I must admit. Any ideas on what this immortal was doing? You see it at like the 4th base of Loslot. It was all the way over by the ops.
It's unclear. It's unclear at this time, I think. Yeah. Just needed to de-stress for a while, I guess. He's an introvert immortal.
Vacation, retreat to the southern mineral lines. You know, we all need them sometimes.
Armor hitting the field for the Protoss. Storm on the way, and I feel like the longer and longer this game goes on, the worse it is for Mevin here.
I think there's gonna be a window where he could maybe do something, but if he waits till Storm finishes this game, might as well be over. He doesn't have any Ghost in production yet, and Storm is now about 2/3 finished.
Okay, he's gonna move out, but I think it's too late. I think by the time he engages, Storm's gonna be finished, and...
Yeah, he needed to move out when Storm started.
Oh, no, he might just be moving to defend this third. Let's see. Where's he shift click? Nope, he is
Also,
gonna
he
move
has
out.
no Whittle Mines for the current 15 charge lot count, and surely to go up when he scouts this push.
Alright, well, the Warp Prism will go down, but this is, that scouting information is really valuable for Lil's lot. Quite a few Force Fields with this army. And...
All the High Templars are currently still at least low on energy, so there's... I don't know.
well,
Lil's in a pretty good position right now, and there's not much else I can say about that.
Mevin will get the snipe on the 4th. Be able to defend from this high ground position. Will he, though?
Maybe? No, charge lots are...
This is just too much Protoss.
Yep. And it looks like Lozot will just be moving across and winning. I think Mevin not even attempting to go for Whittle Mines is a pretty big mistake. You really need mines to address charge lots this Terran.
Yeah, it would take a pretty big throw here from Lil's lot to lose this.
Although, if you got anyone here saw our CTL match last season, there was almost as big as a throw as this could potentially be. He was up about 20 supply with Colossus and High Templar versus me, if I remember correctly. And I got the EMP of a lifetime. Also, Mevin just basically choosing not to build Marauders is even making this more depressing, because Marines might as well be like, what, Pringle chips for Zealots to just eat for breakfast. Oh!
That was a disgusting Storm.
I don't feel well after this game.
That CC's dead.
I really hope we see a GG soon. Mevin, there's no way Mevin wins this game at this
Well,
point.
Mevin's just hanging on to hope, right? He wants to do well for his team.
I think that's agreeable, but he's got 4 Marines versus the 10 plus Blink Stalkers in his main right now.
4 Marines in a dream stifle. Their Gauss rifles are firing. They're going to the last man. The boys are pulled. They're drilling. They're removing screws from the stalkers. Okay,
It is
I mean,
rear in the
Lozot
gear.
eating quite a few Liberator shots, but still not going to be enough. And his production is done. GG's
There
call.
we go.
Reality goes up 2-1. Power
Alright,
Thirst.
Ephemeron will be our next map. Renegade, how do you feel about ZVP?
I think it's I think Zergs are still trying to figure out late game versus air toss. But it really depends on how the matchup goes. Zerg has a lot of utility in early to mid game pushes, attacks around the third still, and
You
just
think
as
builds
much.
like Marjorie are still relevant?
Excuse me?
Builds like Marjorie.
I'm not familiar with Marjorie.
8 gates, 2 immortals, warp prism, charge, 2 base, attack.
Yeah, 2 base pushes can definitely still be powerful. I think the Protoss has a wide range of options for those 2 base pushes, as well as, you know, going off 3 base pressure or taking it to the late game. It can really go any way either the players want it to, with an equal shot for both of them. However, I do think it favors the Protoss toward the late game, especially if you haven't got damage done early, or if the Zerg has taken damage earlier in the game.
I fell. Uh-oh. Trouble.
Protoss OP. That's all I gotta say.
Sam, get out of here, please.
Is that Kira?
That's the Kira. Why?
What? It's good. It's a good match. It's a good match. But Protoss OP.
Could you please leave?
Yeah. Have a nice cast, boys. Ninja. Oh.
Well, that
How
was
do you
our
disconnect from Discord? Run.
field reporter Kira, collecting, you know, doing some in-depth reporting, letting us know that Protoss is indeed overpowered.
I mean, if you look at the 2018 results, I'm more inclined to say Zerg is overpowered, but at our level, nothing's overpowered. We're all just bad. And that's a fact.
Power Thirst saying, I'm gonna call you that from now on. Sutifuhel.
Sudafed. Still waiting on Lizot. Oh, there we go.
Oh, I think it's like an anime voice. Sutiful.
Yes.
Noni?
Alright, here we go. Heading into game 4. Honestly, Power Thirst has been interesting for us this season. He likes playing macro games, but his opponents tend to throw like NA builds at him, and then he like struggles to adapt to them from my understanding. So if Lizot plays standard, I think Power Thirst has a decent chance, but if you try something a little bit more off the wall, then we could be, or I guess Power Thirst could be in trouble.
Forgot to tab over. Yeah, so spawning in the bottom right as the purple Zerg from the Formless Bear slots is Power Thirst. In the top left as the blue Toss, it's Lilzlot.
Built the pylon gateway. Revolutionary stuff so far. Just going instantly for the third base, kind of bypassing the typical ring around the rosy from the toss from Power Thirst.
Yeah, this does leave you vulnerable to adept play. It's not preferential, but it's an older meme. It checks out, sir.
Is this typical to not put your second and third probe on gas for toss?
I think it depends what kind of build is gonna happen here, right? Yeah, there's the early Nexus.
Oh. That makes sense now. Cutting getting done for Lizlot.
So Power Thirst is gonna stay on gas past the 40 mark, meaning we will see Ling speed. See if he stays on past that to do some kind of roach play, some kind of aggression.
Maybe OV speed? Or do you not get OV speed in this matchup?
It really depends. OV speed, I think, is really situational. If you can cut it, you do, but it's a very powerful upgrade, even with the cost increase.
How much is it currently?
I cannot recall. It's like, let's say it's like 175 or 100, something like that.
Oh, wow. I remember it being 50-50 at one point.
Yeah. It's in the previous patch, they increased the cost of it.
Yeah.
They didn't want to see it in every matchup.
Yeah, there's definitely a fine line between it being good and then it just being, like, relatively free to just get perfect scouting with OB speed.
Okay, Power Thirst is going for the third, a pretty normal time. And, like I said, the space a little bit vulnerable to these adepts, not even getting shot by the queen. One misfire does mean...
Roach Warren coming out of...
Yeah, this is a little bit of an earlier timing for the Roach Warren. However, I think the bigger indicator that he's going to go aggression is he didn't pull out a gas, right? He's been mining gas with 3 drones this entire time. And that means he's going to be able to pump out about 10 roaches once this Roach Warren pops. Lilslot
He's also producing 8 links.
has not scouted this. Yeah, this is most certainly some kind of aggression towards the base of Lilslot. Lilslot does, luckily enough, have a Stargate already up. Gonna have an Oracle, but definitely time to still get a Void Ray out.
If he just goes into like Oracle, I think he could be in serious trouble if we just see like 8 roaches right now. Yeah, there we go, 7 roaches.
Okay, the die is cast here for Power Thirst. He needs to get damage done. You can definitely transition out of this, but it's dependent on doing damage to the Protoss. Okay, the Oracle sees the positioning on the slings.
That the Phoenix, is not scouted the main at all. So he's completely missing these roaches mid-map with the Oracle. So this is, I would say, decently unfortunate that he's just not seeing this at all.
Well, Lilslot has had tells, right? He saw the positioning on those lings. Oh, he's gonna move the adepts out to try and deal with those lings. He thinks this is an attack on the third.
Oh, no.
Oh my god, they're gonna get wrapped around. Yeah, oh no, don't pick off the probe. Let him drop the next. Okay, alright. So the probe goes down. I would kill the adept before it gets back in the wall. This is going to be a very difficult
so he's an
hole.
Immortal on the way? Yeah.
However, I think it's a mistake from Power Thirst to not get Ravagers. Ravagers are just so good in this situation. They can be burned down by Oracles, however, he knows Lilslot's Oracles across the map, so a little bit of missed micro here from the Zerg is going to allow Lilslot a chance, but there's still a lot of work to do. Okay, there's the Oracle returned home, a lot of energy.
I know Immortals are good, but
Where's that
I
Void
don't know if
Ray?
Immortal can save
Oh
you.
no, the supply block is stopping the Void Ray from being built. The death of
Oh,
probes
wow.
will allow it to begin production now, but I think it might be too little too late. 16 more lings on the production tab, as well
Need
as
to
3 more
focus on the
roaches.
Immortal.
And it looks like he's gonna do just that. I think Power Thirst just over microing a little bit, but other than that, he should be able to clean house here. The Void Ray's still only halfway finished, and this is like the mother of all Artosis pylons. If Power
Oh,
Thirst
get it,
focuses
get
it
it, get it,
down,
get it. Oh.
he's not gonna move enough roaches into range. Some of them aggroing onto that probe that gives the Void Ray a chance to come out. Okay, the
and
Immortal gonna unaggro the roaches again, and the Void Ray has finished. Wilslot has a chance in hell of holding this, but he's taken significant amounts of damage. It's still gonna be an uphill battle, even if he holds.
Yeah, he's. Oh wow, the Ling Flood at the natural now is going to reset his. Yeah, okay.
GG.
And we see a tie up to 2-2 currently. I think my takeaway from that game is that Lilzot just needed to scout slightly better.
Hey, hey, Seifel. We have a special guest in the chat. It's Intuition.
Special what?
Special guest.
Oh, who?
Intuition. Do you have any words to say to your former master here?
Oh! Hi, Intuition. You're awesome. I don't know.
Papa Panda! Ooh. Okay. This is an EU time zone friendly match, so we're gonna get to see the Panda hit the field today. And I really favor his chances in the ZVZ. How well do you think Power Thirst is prepared for Papa Panda's style of play?
Honestly, I don't know, but I know ZVZ is Power Thirst's best matchup currently on ladder. So it'll be interesting. I'll leave it at that. Eternal Empire. How do you feel about Eternal Empire, ZVZ?
I think it favors third play a lot. It's really easily defendable. There's a lot of open space to maneuver your Lingbane. This is an interesting choice of map from Panda.
Okay. I cannot say I'm super familiar with ZVZ, but I played a little bit of Zerg. I think I got it to 4.2k, 4.1k range. So,
Oh god, I respect that. I can't do the multi-race thing. I enjoy Protoss every once in a while, but like leveling my Terran to 4k just sounds like it never-ending hell. Looks like we're going to have a Power Thirst versus Panda rap battle with DJ Sutaifu.
I mean, it's interesting. I really tried to do Protoss, and I just couldn't do it. But Zerg is, I don't know, easier to me. It's I kind of see Zerg as like single player mode, and then Terran as multiplayer mode. Because with Zerg, all I do is just kind of play hyper defensive and get on the 4 base, and then hold down that Z key and then whatever other units I make for that matchup key, and like just make out creep and respond to whatever my opponent does, and then roll them over with macro on like 4 to 5 base. Basically, play it like a Protoss.
In the bottom left. Next up, for Snapback to Reality, it's the Teal Zerg. And the Platinum Heroes, Papa Panda.
And spawning in the top right, Fur, Formless, X, Bear Sloth. It's the coolest man on Earth, Dr. Powerthirst.
Yeah, he really nailed it with the screen name.
Yep.
Okay.
Renegade, how do you... You're American, right?
I am American.
What do you think's the biggest upside to being American in 2020?
Oh, you... I don't...
Oh, you're seeing this?
There's... Am I seeing what? The pool
I'll
first
make
from
some small
Panda?
talk, but now I just feel bad for Dr. Powerthirst. We're seeing pool first versus hatch first.
I mean, you're going up against Panda. You need to Powerthirst really better know what to expect here, because this is gonna get really dicey really fast if he doesn't.
What was that extractor?
I think he made a change of plans. He is going to go for the natural, but
I
6
think you'll
lanes.
see the lings with the Ovi, maybe?
This is still
Sees
totally defendable from Powerthirst. It's going to be all about scouting. There's the drone, and there's the additional lings.
I believe, from my understanding of this matchup, you just pull about half your drones right and then just stall until you get enough lings out to hold? Or are we just sacking it?
You should, if you see that your opponent has a natural, it means there's no Baneling follow-up. So you pull half the drone line and kind of dance with the lings on the ramp while you get your own lings out. But... oh god, okay. Powerthirst should be able to hold here. It's gonna take a couple drones and damage. Panda's pushing forward.
Okay, so we see a hold out of Dr. Powerthirst, but he did lose about 3 drones. Oh, he's got 6 drones in production versus Dr. Powerthirst is making 6 lings.
Well, that's fine, you know, as long as Panda's on top of scouting, he's going to be able to react in time to defend against any aggression from Powerthirst. And Panda does have the economic advantage here right now. However, Powerthirst does have that Baneling nest, and I think this is just defensive from Powerthirst.
And he's got ling speed on the way, which is a pretty vital upgrade in ZZ, I'm not mistaken.
Okay, Panda drops the Roach Warren. We should see an Evo Chamber to help wall off here. It's very interesting to me that Panda skipped the Baneling nest. Ling Bane versus just Ling goes in the Ling Bane's favor like 90% of the time. Yeah, there's the proxy hatch. If I see Panda play a standard ZVZ, I think I can retire from StarCraft because it'll just be the end. Panda is floating a ton of larva though to get out this third.
You can really see the division in play style of the 2 players currently in this game. Panda definitely playing more aggressive, going with that 12 pool into proxy hatch versus like Powerthirst kind of trying to just play a standard game, you know, getting the Banes, going for the hatch first.
Invalid in chat saying, knock knock, open up the door, it's here. The non-stop lings pop, the Carapace steel. Oh my god. Okay. Alright, Power Thirst. That was a DMX reference, but... Okay, Queens are gonna hold on the ramp, but Panda might take some drone damage if Power Thirst is smart and right-click sees. Oh, he's not gonna go for it. Okay. So Panda taking 2 drones and damage, but... Yeah, I think Power Thirst definitely could have gotten more done. He is waiting for more Lings. Power Thirst getting his own Roach Warren.
Bodes well for Power Thirst since he's already got Roach Tech.
I feel like Power Thirst, man, is splitting his tech paths a little bit. He's invested so heavily in the Lings, and he's going for a Roach Warren now. Granted, he doesn't know Panda has a third, but they're not really coming into play right now either. Hold position on the Lings. Trying to cut down some of those drones. Both players with the hold position micro. Panda's lost 9 drones. Power Thirst ahead in the worker department. And Panda doesn't have this hidden base hotkeyed, so he's not spending the larva.
He's attacking his own hatchery.
Oh no.
He's still attacking his own hatchery.
Oh god. Not like this. Okay, alright.
Okay, good, good. We're not gonna see an MMA out of here.
That was some serious damage to that hatchery, though.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah, I mean, Panda's just not doing things that you need to do if you're going to do this build. Like, there's no Evo chamber in the wall. The Evo chamber's behind the lair. So these Lings are just going to be able to keep running in here and keep damaging the economy a little bit at a time before the Roaches can respond effectively.
Arthur's is up 10 drones, which from my understanding is a pretty big lead in this matchup.
Yeah, it absolutely is. However, Power Thirst is behind in the upgrade department. Panda gonna have Roach speed faster. It looks like Panda also going for Burrow.
Panda isn't going for +2 though, so he's able to catch.
No, there it is.
As I say that.
Yeah. So, as bad as Panda's situation looks here, if he can get up to +2 Roaches against the +0 and hit that timing, or excuse me, it'll be against the +1 and hit that timing pretty aggressively, he should be able to pull off a win, but it is an uphill battle for a Teal Zerg. There's a lot that could be improved here. Ooh, hit with a supply block as well. Yeah, Queen at the third base is long overdue. Finally spending the larva up there, but...
Power Thirst just scouted the third.
Okay.
I think we may see him move out soon.
Well,
So go attack that.
Roach speed will be finishing soon, so Panda can probably move in time to defend that base. That is going to leave his natural vulnerable, and Power Thirst has quite the Roach ball of his own. And for a period of time, they're going to be on even upgrades, so that will favor Power Thirst here.
Neither of these players getting Ravengers is kind of surprising to me.
Well, Panda just doesn't have the gas here. He needs to keep investing in Roaches, I think. Okay, he's making a little gas, so we might see a morph. He's gonna move out. I hope not to attack. Oh no.
Yeah, this is real bad if he hits before his upgrade. Oh no, this could be
Yeah, there's the Ravager morph, but it's only one. He's got to back off. Back off now. Okay, Power Thirst.
And they're getting... I think there's a moment here where he has speed and then he doesn't have +2, the Panda, where this could be his moment to force an engagement. Yeah, 10 seconds. Go, 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 Power Thirst. 5, 4... Wow. Okay.
Power Thirst gonna overrun
exactly what...
the third of Panda, and... Oh, he's not gonna finish the hatch. Interesting.
Very powerful move out of Power Thirst. Yeah, that's kind of baffling from me not finishing that, but got good damage. And now he's up almost 50 supply. Oh no, don't take this engagement.
Yeah, Power
he still win
Thirst
this?
just gonna stutter up the ramp, and he should cut down all the remaining units of Papa Panda.
That was not a great engagement, but I guess he was up so far that it didn't really matter.
Yeah, the economy's gonna cover the losses. GG, says Panda, and Power Thirst puts a 3rd point on the board.
Yeah, that's interesting. It puts us up 3-2. Yep.
Ooh, Xenodactyl next up for reality. Yeah, I think Panda just not hard committing to anything there. Making a lot of macro mistakes, allowing Power Thirst to get the lead. He definitely could have focused down the natural early in the game. And, you know, not hotkeying that 3rd base, not getting a queen out to take advantage of the additional larva after making that mineral investment in building it, just allowing Power Thirst to overrun him.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, so what do you think the first tech building for Xenodactyl is going to be this game?
Am I allowed to answer with Dark Shrine?
I don't think that's actually physically possible, but sure, we're definitely allowed to.
Xenodactyl seems to not be doing good on ladder at all.
Well, okay, so I can offer an explanation for this. Xeno has been totally reworking his playstyle. We meme and dream that he's a cannon rusher, but he's been working really hard on learning how to macro out of it, how to transition, and he's up a couple hundred MMR actually from where he bottomed out. So he's a really hard-working guy, and I definitely respect him taking that MMR hit to reinvent his gameplay, such as it were.
Yeah. I feel that a lot because I basically did a similar thing where I 4x'd my way all the way up to Diamond 2, and I had to spend the next 3 months learning how to macro, and I went from 3.2k all the way up to like 3.8, then just stuttered for like months until I finally got my macro up.
Yeah, I hit so I totally reworked my playstyle over the course of an entire year, just going back, totally completely removing all army hotkey from my gameplay, doing the Kespa method of just, you know, playing 20 games trying to win with a single unit type, like trying to win on ladder with Viper Tech as my primary, you know, win thing. Things like that.
A yikes
and
from me.
It took it took a year, man, but finally I'm at 4.3, you know.
Nice. I also hit 4.3 about 2 weeks ago.
But we're talking, I went from like 4K all the way down to right above plat at the worst of it last year, so.
I mean, shoot. What? Kind of just putting my head down and just working on macro.
Yeah.
It's like, this is a quote from a Gemini stream I watched a while back, but it was some guy in the chat was like, "How much do you want for coaching, Gemini?" And then the guy responded with that, and then one of the gold players in the chat named Ding, yeah, I don't know if you're familiar with him, that basically said, "Well, I want Gemini coaching, There's no point in buying it just to be told to build more workers and expand. And it's like he's obviously memeing, but I think there's a lot of truth to just specifically working on like worker production, macro, expanding, build order refinement, and making sure all that stuff is really solid.
Yeah. Unless you're Xenodactyl, then you train with printf and and Turkey Nano for like 6 hours. Yeah. Well, there's the forge, and we're off to the races, boys. Oh, Power Thirst. Okay, no, Power Thirst is scouting. Is he? Oh, it's the hatch first. Okay, all right. This is still holdable. This is still totally doable. You just got to be confident in your gameplay. You got to know your scouting. Okay, this Overlord is going to see the pylon. Power Thirst needs to go double get. Okay, he's not. All right.
But
No. You can't pull 2 drones. You got to pull like. Oh God. Well, 4 for each building.
Like
and they can't.
Panicking.
Yeah, this is so Xenodactyl is a phenomenal tournament player here. He may not be like the highest MMR or necessarily know his transitions the best out of the cannon rush, but it's the psychology of going up. You know he's going to cannon rush. You know he's going to do it at least once in a series, and the question is, how do you stop it? And you got to keep cool, calm, and collected. Now, this is still totally doable for Power Thirst. He's taken some damage already. However, he's got to get that Roach Warren, got to get the second gas, and respond correctly from here on out. Okay, there's the macro hatch.
I would really like to see just a Roach Warren into Ravengers.
Oh, a spine. Interesting. Xeno's dropped a Cybercore back at home.
Interesting not to see any like Robotech drop down yet. Oh, there we go.
Okay, so it is going to be a proxy robo here from Xeno. He has a full wall in back at home with the cannon. He doesn't have this ramp blocked off, but you know, any kind of Ling run by isn't going to do too much. Power Thirst has not dropped a Roach Warren. Okay, he's going for a lair, so this might be a Nidus play, but...
Is this a Nidus?
Is this going to be Ling Nidus, really? Off of, like, 1.5 hatches with no queen? Okay, there's a second queen, but...
I think this may just be a panic, like, transition from Power Thirst.
There is an Overlord positioned on the other side of the map. Remember, the Protoss has a tool called Recall, right? Okay, Stalker's gonna see the lair and the Lings. How does Xenodactyl respond?
Getting a pylon in the main?
No warp gate from the Protoss.
I think, is it fair to say that Xeno is ahead at this point?
I think it's fair to say that they are quote-unquote even.
Oh!
Okay, the Adept sees the Nidus. Power Thirst is gonna have a window here. He can definitely do this. Xeno going for the cannon, shield battery defense back at home. He has a lot of coverage. You can see that his cannons are overlapping. He's going to recall for the defense.
You can call me crazy, but would it be just insane to go one base Muta at this point? He has like one unit that can shoot up.
It's going to take a very long time for him to get there at this point. Okay, there's the Nidus.
I just like this so much if it was
He's dropping
Ravengers.
it outside of the main.
Because Ravengers are way better versus photon cannons versus just pure Ling.
Okay, this is a hard wall, so it means the Immortal can't get to the low ground. 3 queens with this as well. Here come the Lings. Cannon's gonna take out a few of them. You can see this is excellent cannon placement from Xeno. Able to defend the weak spot in the wall, which is the pylon.
I don't like this very much.
Oh
at
my
all from
god, Power
Thirst.
Thirst is blocking off his own Lings. That means the DPS is not going out as much as it could. These queens do have a couple transfuses here, but one of them goes down. This pylon is looking like it may fall. He doesn't commit. He doesn't even kill the pylon. That means Warpgate's still gonna finish. Zero damage has been done to Xenodactyl with this attack at great cost to the Zerg, who's still on 1 base. He's gonna try and break the proxy now. An Immortal firing in the back. Shield battery is making these cannons extra tanky, and they're going to take out a lot of Lings with them. The Lings cannot engage this Immortal in the choke. This is really bad for Power Thirst.
What is there to say at this point?
Wait, Xeno killing the Forge on the weakened pylon. Okay, alright. Okay, Zoomer. Alright, he's gonna kill the Forge, get his units out. I guess no more cannons are needed. This is like in The Last Jedi where Kylo... Okay, alright, but... So, a second Nidus dropped in the main for Power Thirst. Xeno's going to reverse course and try to defend in the main. Probe's going to be a little bit tankier thanks to that shield battery, and Power Thirst is once again repelled here. These Nidus are not free. Power Thirst does have 600 gas in the bank, so the 1 base Muta could have worked a little bit earlier, but like I said, it would have taken a long time to get out, and it's near impossible now. The mineral patch is in the main, mining out quite a bit. Power Thirst trying to break this. The shield battery's almost out of energy, but there's no committal anywhere here.
Indecisive commits from Power Thirst is really killing him.
He's had like... I feel like Power Thirst is acting like a cartoon villain, right? He just gets these great plans, and they almost work, and then he just doesn't commit, so... the Xenodactyl is gonna push in here and end this very soon, I think.
Yeah, I think this is just a W from Xeno, and then we'll be heading into the final match.
GG is called, and Xeno evens up the score 3-3.
Well, with that, Renegade, I wish you the best of luck, but I am going to be our final player. It's going to be my first time playing this season.
All right. Good luck, Stifle.
Should probably leave this.
Stifle is a 4,300 Terran. Unfortunately, his win rate versus Protoss is the worst of his matchups by a lot, a significant amount. We're talking Stifle having currently an 85% win rate versus Zerg, going 17-3, 54% versus Terran, and a 35% versus Protoss, 60% versus Terran, 57% versus Zerg overall, and a 44% versus TOS overall. So this is going to be a little bit of a difficult ace match for the captain of Intuition's X-Slaves. Can he pull it back and take the win for his team?
Hello?
Haruku. How's it going, man?
Good. I just tuned in and I saw Xeno winning, so.
You were in my top 2 anime waifus. Boom, of
Top 2
course,
what?
takes number 1. Feels bad.
Top 2 what?
Anime waifus? Oh,
So-
I don't even...
Can you catch me out? Because I couldn't watch the whole thing.
Are we... We aren't friends on Battle.net, are we?
I do not think we're not friends. Yeah, I mean, slash join. I can join any channel. Of me.
Let me copy pasta this link to you, because I don't... They made the channel something ridiculous.
What a team. Okay, makes no sense. And I'm in. Generous sauce.
Alright, we have you in lobby.
So PvT.
Yeah, so as the well-known min-max Zerg, what did you think of Power Thirst's performance in the previous game?
Well, I just Magnath, which is our cannon rusher, just came back, and so I played about 10 cannon rushes today. So my day's ruined. But I tried a bunch of reaction, and what he did was the number one thing you never want to do, which is not being decisive and doing half of everything. So it's obviously bad. But one of the things that Xeno does a lot, and some cannon rusher do, especially the Forge First type, is that they try to proxy a bit far away to guarantee they got it. So usually I would just give it to them. And you go super fast into your pool and your Ravager and stuff. And that can be good. Or you can also go super fast into spines if they do behind minerals. So your spines can hit from high ground to low ground. And another response can be... One of the good thing he did is that he took Macro Hatch. Because that lets you pumping out a ton of queens, and you don't have to inject at all. So you have all the energy to transfuse. Also, it's way easier to macro.
Okay. In the top left, as the Pink Terran and captain of Intuition's ex-slaves, it's Stifle. Stifle. Stifle.
I don't know. And in the bottom right, Yellow Protoss, the Xenodactyl.
My god. It's not how you introduce Xenodactyl. You gotta be like... in the bottom right, in the black and gold of Alpha X. It's the Dragon Forge of Ire, Xenodactyl!
I didn't know that. I just bought him, so...
I'm memeing you, bro. I'm memeing.
Yeah.
Okay,
Also-
this is an interesting gateway placement.
Yeah, this is a hero type gateway. He did that on Disco Bloodbath as well, where you can get the adepts on the low ground and they can't jump with Reaper. If it's well done. Yeah, it's a pretty weird type of thing, but it kind of works. I heard you guys talking about like reinventing your playstyles,
Yeah.
and I've been kind of doing that lately, playing like hyper aggressive builds. 'Cause I
Oh,
can't really-
you and me both. You and me both.
So I've
I've,
been doing like 13-12, 14-14, and 13 pool. Basically playing no regret style.
Oh. Well, I mean, that's how you become a
People are
Code S
mad.
Zerg. Yeah,
conflict
it's
is
not
even
it's
stuck.
not your ability to execute the build, right? It's your opponent's inability to hold it.
It's partly that, especially 13 pool against Protoss, because pool first against Protoss is really bad.
Oh
But
man.
yeah, mostly you're trying to feed fake information and make them do big mistakes.
Xeno able to force this CC to be built like really
Yeah.
far away. Usually you can get away with like a
Cyber
hex
too.
or two, but this is just like a entire CC off.
Yeah.
So it's gonna have
the
to
good thing
float.
is you delay the timing of it, so it's gonna be late CC.
Yeah.
And he went Zealot first. He's going around, and now he's going Chrono Boosted Adapt, I think. Yeah, so Zealot is going to be able to delay a bit. He's going to kill the bunker, and then if he kills the Reaper, he's able to just streamer. He should be macroing units. Okay. No, okay, he's not.
This
So
is
he's just
gonna
doing,
be
like, 2 units to just be annoying.
yeah.
But your goal is pretty much to kill the SCVs because you just want to delay the CEC as much as possible. The sad thing is, he's not making stalkers behind this.
Yeah, I mean, again, Xeno reinventing his playstyle. I think in previous
a good
seasons
sign.
he would have just gone for the cannon rush against the Terran, right? But it's
You can macro against Terran. It's not
so-
not hard.
it you know, Xeno, one of the MVPs from the previous season of Diamond League. Stifle is over 4.3k Terran.
Yeah, I heard.
However, this
Didn't
is his worst matchup. So I think we're gonna have a very interesting game on our hands.
Yeah, I really want to see like Xeno macro because I know his control is pretty good. His multitask should be okay, but I don't know how good his ability to just do big engagements and things like that is. Oh,
Ooh,
yep.
that is it's not a full wall on the Reaper jump.
That's super useful. Oh, we might have a 2 gates all in. 2 base all in. Not taking gas, not taking a third base.
Hey, thank you so much for the
So what do
follow,
you think about this matchup?
Reseller Mom.
Because I think it's super easy. You can just really bully Terran really hard.
Yeah. As you know, as two Zerg players, who better to commentate this match?
Yeah. I started playing Protoss a bit because when carriers were broken, because I was like, this looks fun, and then I had to help someone to prep this matchup as Terran, and it was 2 years ago, so we had 27-second adept, so you could go Cyber first, and your adept would arrive across the map before the CC was finished, so you would kill the SCV 100% of the time. Which was mega brutal. Like basically you would do pressure on one gate and you could double expand, double forge, get all your tech behind 4 units. Yeah, but here we have like a charge lot on it. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
We did it.
So
And for TC.
did Xeno get Blink? Okay. Oh no,
We're
there's the
going
warp
full
prism. I
charge
lost my
lots.
warp prism.
Yeah,
Okay.
We're
So
going full charge lots and we have 30 CC, Cloak Banshee. So I think Xeno should, if the prism gets in, if Zealot starts attacking everywhere, this is over.
but there is a Cyclone that's been positioned for a while.
Yep.
Stifle may be aware of
Stifle needs to
Xenodactyl's
catch
PVT
the
style,
Cyclone.
so... Oh, no, it's not going to catch the Warp Prism. There's the charge lots on the tank. Thanks for the follow, VDog
Actually-
too. Appreciate it.
Yeah, not having 8 damage, it hurts a lot.
Okay, delay on the third CC at the very least. Banshee's going to clean up at the front, but...
This is going very well for Baron. We lost one tank, which is pretty bad. I think this was the correct style from Sightful. Playing very safe, but also economic.
A dozen SCVs have fallen. These Marines could get cut
Yeah.
Okay, no.
We're
Xeno's
about
trying to
even.
micro into the SCV line. Okay, that second Warpman is going to cut down the remaining Marines. Oh my god, the SCV slaughter. I think Xeno's
is
broken
really
him.
good.
I think Xeno's gonna
Yeah.
take it.
Getting the warp into the main was really good. 'Cause you're not
This
fighting
remaining
the
tank is going to try to hold with the SCVs as a shield, but it's not enough. In on the tank, just a bunker with a couple Marines here to hold. There's another warp in from Xeno,
Yeah,
and we should see
there's no
GG any moment. 30 SCVs have been slaughtered. 0 damage done to Xeno's economy means he's 30 workers to 14. Stifle's doing his best to hang in there for his team.
Army supply is overwhelming right now. There's 0 push potential from Terran. Fortunately, now we're doing the classic Terran thing in fantasy GG timing. So I think we're gonna GG in 30 seconds or something.
There's the final tank.
Yep.
There's the
And
bunker,
here's the
even
bunker.
with the repair.
Oh, bunker is actually holding on. No, not really. GG.
GG. Snap back to reality is going to take this series
With
4
the
to 3.
Charlotte all in. What a build. Still pretty strong, even though Charlotte don't have the 8 damage anymore. Yeah. The big thing right here was that he couldn't break the front, but he dropping the Zealots and killing the Cyclone meant that the War Prism could warp from the main. And this is just a pretty bad rate from Stifle. He wasn't able to check if there was a third base, because at that timing he was Xeno at 500 minerals. It should be a third base on the way, or gas is taken for some type of tech heal in, or more tech, while being safe. And yeah, it was just like going to 4 to 3rd CC was kind of risky.
Right, well, it's been a pleasure.
Because that looked like it was going into mech with like Banshee tanks.
Yeah.
Could have been a fun game. But yeah, great execution on Xenodactyl. Getting the high rank tank immediately was really good. So it's 3-3 now? Or it's over 4-3?
Yeah, so the match goes 4 to 3 in favor of Snapback to Reality. That's it for the games today. I'm gonna find someone wholesome to rave. To rave? Find someone wholesome to raid. Thanks for Cocast and Haruku. And I've been Renegade. See you in the next one.